So when people look at your accomplishment, they see the result, they see the title, they see the recognition, the success, but what they don't often see is the hours behind the scenes, the sacrifices, what actually took to get there. So let us in. What did that journey look like for you?
So when others look at my title of best jazz alto sax in the state, I don't just they just think, oh, that guy can play scales, that guy can play solos, he can improv all over the place, he can do that thing. That's cool and all, but how did that even happen? Because when I go up stage and solo, I just think of myself as you right now, like anybody else who plays an instrument in high school jazz band. I just think, oh, just play something, honestly, just play. No matter how good it is or bad, just do your best, right? So how I got that title, right? I didn't just think like, oh, I want to get that title and I want to just brag about it and gloat. Like I didn't try to get this title. Like I was not confident I would even make a state band. So, but anyways, can you repeat the question?
Oh, what did the journey look like for you on the road to Allstate?
The journey, you're right. Okay, yeah. It's about to zone off. Right, so the journey, honestly, you have to make a lot of sacrifices that you don't see coming. Some of them you will see coming, right? Okay, you have to practice many hours. But others, they don't take shape until you actually, do the journey, right? For example, maybe you're not used to practicing 7 days a week over the course of 4 to 5 months, right? Because what I usually used to do is I would practice on and off, right? Maybe I do 5 to 6 days a week. Some days or some weeks I would only do 1 or 2 days and just call it there, and that's okay. But when you're grinding for an all-state band or when you're just trying to do the best you can on an audition and you know how high stakes there can be if you take it seriously, you have to do everything you can to try and give yourself the best chance of doing the best you can do. Because if you're trying to get that spot, you want to be the best version of yourself. That's the whole purpose of it, right? So in order to do that, you have to practice and you have to, practice, right? But you also have to cut out your other activities that you might want to do instead. Maybe you're a video gamer, or maybe you like to just hang out with your family a lot, maybe vacation a lot. And that's okay and all, but you also have to make sure that you're practicing and all that, keeping up. So if you're on vacation, maybe invest in a digital sax, right? Maybe try and get some way of practicing or making sure that your fundamentals are in shape still, right? Because I remember still vividly, on that summer break, 2025, I was on a 4-day vacation, just 4 days. 4 days. People would have just do that out the window. That's okay, right? But I even took my instrument with me to hopefully practice in Canada. We were headed to Canada, but even then, so stuff like that, you have to make sacrifices. You have to try and do your best to keep up with the game, right? So, but anyways, yeah, I think that the work that you do behind the scenes, you have to do that work. No matter whether you see it, the person outside sees it, whether my family sees it, I don't care who it is. You have to put in that work, whether you like it or not, whether who sees it or not. You have to do it. It can't just be for personal gratification. You just have to do it. So that's my stance.
So what do you think is the separator between people who actually achieve success and the people who just dream about it in their bedroom at night?
Right. This question haunts me every night. It really does, right? So the people who don't take action, right? I think that you have to just do it. You can't spend all night, all day thinking, oh, I'm gonna do it. I have to do the perfect plan. I have to at 8 a.m. I'll wake up, and 9 a.m. I'll do this, and then 10 a.m. No. Literally just throw that out the window. I don't care. Just do something. I don't care what it is. Do something. Start today.
Less thinking, more doing.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
should see this guy's podcast on the last episode about that.
So last episode, go watch it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but literally just do it. Okay, I don't care what it is. Like if it's just to start practicing something about your like an etude, or it doesn't even have to be just music, right? Just literally like if you're trying to start going to the gym, like just go there, do something, do an exercise that you like that you can do some reps on. Maybe just if you want to run, just start running, right? Or bake some. If you want to start baking, just bake a cake. I don't know, but yeah, just literally just do anything. And the person who just sits in their room and thinks about a goal all day doesn't achieve anything. This is the barrier they have, that I believe they have. They spend way too much of their time thinking. And while I'm not saying, like once you have something established, right, don't just, like you eventually have to start thinking a little bit, right? But even then, don't let that thinking get in the way of what you're trying to do, right? So the whole idea, more thinking, or no, not more thinking, more doing, less thinking, right? So that's what I believe.
So on the topic of achieving things, what does the word discipline mean to you? What do you think discipline means, and what do you think its relevance is in all of this and achieving goals?
Discipline. Yeah, discipline is it's a word, right? I would say that. Right.
It's thrown around a lot, especially in this kind of achieving goals kind of society.
Yeah, you love the word or hate the word. It's a controversial word, right? So, I mean, you can use discipline. I use the word discipline, but whenever I do, it kind of feels negative, and it kind of feels like you're trying to force something to happen, right? But I use it to remind myself of what I'm trying to get done, like respectfully, because I need to, because like whenever I'm, we're on summer break, of course, right? For example, right? I want to use the word discipline to, like, if I'm trying to keep up with my saxophone goals, for example, or if I'm trying to get fit, right? Because I need to remind myself that I was put on this earth for a purpose, and if I'm not taking care of myself, I'm not doing the best I can do to just keep in touch with society, right, the world, right, then I'm not gonna be doing myself a favor, especially for when I'm trying to get into college or whatever else is next, right? So, but anyways, I think discipline, the word discipline, it really means just being consistent, staying on track, just having one single goal every day, even if it's just having something to do every day so that you don't fall out of touch again, right? It's better to just do something every single day than to do 10 single tasks for like maybe a few days, and then you take like a week off because it was too hard and you want to recover. You're still recovering from like when you just weren't serious at all, and you're trying to keep up with your old self.
Yeah.
You just didn't care. So.
Do you think that social media played a role in either helping or hindering the success that you had? And do you think that it's hindering other people in your position that may be trying to make allstate or achieve a goal?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Maybe if you've even seen me, maybe you think I'm really good. I mean, if you think so, I'm honored to be that guy, right? But even then, I think it plays a huge role. It definitely played a role in how I saw the audition process, right? You see some other guy, like maybe you're trying to audition for a band, and you see, oh, that guy can play a scale so good. He can play the etude. What? He's so fast. Like, who cares? That's just another guy. Like, that you don't need to be him. Like, you're overthinking it, man. Just do your best. I don't care who it is. Do your best. Like I said before, it's corny, I know, but do your best, forget the rest. It's corny, okay? I don't care, but it really does matter, okay? So, but anyway, I really do think social media matters because you can't spend all your time on social media. Number one, it's time consuming, of course, right? But number two,
like scrolling and
yeah,
whatnot.
Of course, right? But yeah, second off, social media just distorts your vision of who you should be, and you're always obsessed with the perfect self, right? there is no perfect self that you can live right now because, okay, think of a timeline, right? Like okay, so let's say you're over here and the perfect self is over here, right? Let's say that you get better. This is your current self, right? This is the camera, right? Okay. This is the current self. You get a little better. This perfect self right here, it just shifted. It literally just shifted like that because now that you know that you've gotten better.
The goal is always moving.
Yes, exactly. The goalpost literally just shifted because you can't be satisfied with wherever you are. If you're okay, let me tell you something right now. If you're ever satisfied with who you are right now, then you're not doing something right. Like, I'm gonna just say that right now. You're not doing something right. If you're satisfied with who you are as a musician right now, then you're not longing for that. You're not craving to be better. You're not craving that next position. You're not trying to get better. And I really think that's essential for anybody who's trying to achieve their goal. That's the entire point of this podcast. Literally, just you have to be the best version of yourself. So the goalpost always shifts.
How did you cope with comparing yourself to other players, both in person and in the audition rooms? Like, what went through your mind as you had that mindset of, oh, he might be better than me, or this person, kind of having that comparison?
Yeah, this was especially prominent for me when I did my area audition. It was my very first area audition, and I was terrified. I had no idea what to expect. But yeah, so this really impacted me because, like, I was thinking, because I didn't know who I was going against for altos, really. I mean, I knew who was in my region, right? But, like, I didn't really know anybody else because there's, like, 32 other area audition rooms happening all over the place. So, but yeah, when I knew about somebody else who could take my spot or whatever, there again, I mean, I didn't have the goal of making number one, but just to, like, making top 4 for state, because you needed to be top 4 to make a state spot, and I was trying to get that. But whenever I knew about that, I was like, oh shoot, that might happen. But at the same time, I'm like, that's a completely different human being. Just focus on yourself. Don't care about that, right? You just have to. You can't let someone else's goal, someone else's vision, someone else's, like, you can't let that get in the way of what you have prepared for yourself, right? Someone else prepared their audition for themselves, and you prepared your audition for yourself, right? That's all you can do anything about. You can't change what's already happened, and whatever happens, right? So, in fact, I think it's detrimental if you focus on whatever someone else has prepared. Literally just do what you've done, and it'll probably go well.
So do you think motivation is real? And do you think it's helpful?
Right.
You got him on that one.
Yeah, motivation versus discipline. That's the first thing that pops up to my mind, right? I really do think, I think motivation, it can take forms, right? But I really do think you should be thinking, like, whenever you want to do something that you want to, like, a goal, right? You want to take a step forward, right? You want to practice one day, and you're like, oh, that was an amazing solo by my favorite artist. Like, my favorite artist is Chudi Oyogui, and oh my God, that solo was amazing. Like, that's cool. You're motivated by that, and maybe you want to transcribe that now or something. But, like, think of that. Okay, that's one day. How about the next day? Are you just gonna listen to another solo, or are you gonna rely on that same exact motivation to do something every single day? Doesn't that sound like, it sounds like you're trying to rely on some, it sounds like a drug almost, honestly. It feels like you're relying on dopamine hits or something. And I don't think that's a really good way to get your goals done. It can be a good way to get started, but after that, like, I really do think you need to rely more on the word discipline, right? Instead of motivation. Because if you rely on motivation all the time, you can't rely on that in your worst days. Because your worst days, I don't care how motivated you're gonna be. Maybe you just broke your leg and you just don't want to go to the gym. Oh heck, maybe you can just do like an upper chest day, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm not really a gym person myself, but the point is, you gotta make adjustments for that stuff, right? And in order to do that, it requires a lot of effort. It requires a lot of knowing what you're gonna do for that day, no matter what happens. So that requires discipline, and motivation is not gonna fix that. So the point is, I don't think motivation is a really good helper for long-term success, and you should really not. We shouldn't rely on it.
So discipline instead of motivation?
Discipline.
You would
Definitely
rely on
discipline.
discipline?
Yeah.
So
I definitely carried that in for what I did to
Yeah.
get where I am. So
do you think talent exists? And do you think you are talented?
I think talent exists, but like I do think that eventually at one point the barrier between talent and hard work, like hard work will always outwork talent. And I do think that somebody who's born with talent, I think you can be born with talent, okay? I'm gonna say that, it might be controversial, but I think you can be born with talent. And if someone is just born with hard work, but maybe they're not so good at something initially, maybe they grow up and that guy with talent, he's just super lazy. He doesn't learn how to grind because he never had to grind. That's, in fact, I experienced that my freshman year. Like, I feel like I was really talented at like maybe math, right? And maybe like I was really good at that. But eventually I had to learn how to learn. Literally, you have to learn how to learn because you need to learn how to study. You need to learn how to build good like study habits. You need to learn how to navigate. You need to know how to do that, like without just relying on something that you were born with. And because other people will eventually catch up. There's very hungry people out in the world that will take your spot if you sleep. So don't fall asleep. But
That's a good point.
don't fall asleep. Don't get caught lacking.
Right.
Right. But yeah, so yeah, to recap, I think talent exists, but I do think you should rely on hard work. If you're talented and you put in hard work, that's amazing. Okay, that's great.
It's like the double combo.
Yeah,
It'll work in your favor.
it's great. But you don't have to be talented in order to do good, though, right? You can always have hard work. You could be a worst guy. You could literally be, maybe you're in your band and you're like, everyone just laughs at you whenever you take out your saxophone. Like, maybe that's your freshman year, but then your senior year, you're like the best guy in your band. You're best guy in the state, maybe you're the best.
Are we talking from experience?
I'm not talking experience. Well, just an example. I don't know why I talked about it like that, but that wasn't great. But I mean, maybe you can have a full turnaround like that, right? You can be decent, but then you can get super good, right? Maybe have you heard of 0 to hero, right? You went from nothing and you're really good.
So why saxophone? When did you know that was your thing?
Yeah, so here's a fun fact. Maybe you don't know. I actually wasn't supposed to play saxophone in 6th grade. I was actually supposed to play clarinet. But the person who...
Would have had a clarinet all-stater.
That would have been cool. But I love the saxophone as well. So I was actually supposed to play clarinet, but the person recommended me to play sax because my embouchure felt better on sax. But anyway, why sax, right? I feel like it's very versatile. I feel like you can do a lot of stuff on it that you can't really do on many other instruments, right? Like, there's a reason why saxophone isn't really used in like orchestra settings, right? It's a very distinct sound that cuts through. It's very, if you have a saxophone solo, then like it's gonna be heard, right? So, but I think saxophone, it's a really good fit for me. Like, it feels very good for me because every time I practice, I'm hooked to it, and I don't really want to stop because every time I practice, I don't know about you, but practicing like at least 2 hours feels natural if that's a lot for anyone. But usually I practice more if I just want to play my horn. I don't know. Maybe I just want to just practice. I don't know, but saxophone feels good because like I feel like I don't have to work super hard in order to get where I want to go. And I'm not trying to say I'm talented, but like I want to say that saxophone is a really good fit on me because I've like I don't know how to describe it, but have you just had like okay, have you gone to the grocery store and just gotten some item that that it was worth every buck? Like you just got something, it was a super good deal. It was the best thing you've ever bought in your life. Basically, it was really good, right? It kind of felt like that for me. Like I didn't think I was gonna go on this long at all, right? I thought maybe okay, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, cool. The middle school band, there you go. What about high school? What about college? I don't know. I don't know how long I'm gonna go with this, but it's gonna go on.
And he's
for
not
long.
majoring in music, by the way.
I know. I'm
He's
majoring.
not.
I'm majoring in engineering. That's a wild crossover. So I'm definitely not gonna quit. I can tell you that. So, cause like when I picked up the saxophone and I started playing, like I was already there almost. It felt like it was just a connection. It just happened, right? The saxophone, it spoke to me, right? Like I use the saxophone to communicate. It's a tool for me. I use it. It's a thing I love to do. And I feel like for every musician, it should feel like that for when they play. Like all these memes you see of like these Asian kids on violin, their fingers bleeding, like they want to quit any given moment. Yeah, I don't like that. I really don't.
You don't
like
think that's
that.
accurate?
It can be, but like for other musicians, but I don't think that's accurate for me at all, right? Whenever I play, I think of the word, like, I saw your podcast, and I like the word you use, devotion, right? It's a love for what you do. It's like a goal. Like, you have that goal, and you have a love for putting in that work toward that goal. That it feels like the same for me. Whenever I play, I have a genuine good practice session. I have fun knowing that I'm a saxophonist in my position in the state of Texas, in the North Texas area, DFW area. It's great knowing that I'm surrounded by all these musicians and I get to pull up to jam sessions with a saxophone. It's really cool.
So what do you think is the biggest challenge that you faced, especially on the road to Allstate? I assume
Yeah.
there's a lot of challenges there.
Yeah, I feel like for me, like I do really like I really like their timeline for it. I like how they release the audition information like right after your previous school year, and it goes into like only the first few months of school, because it allows you to use your summer break very productively, and you get to have a huge head start if you use that summer break efficiently, which I definitely did, right? So. But the challenges was that after summer break or even during summer break, I would face times where I'm like, oh shoot, I wanna just game for another hour or two, or shoot, I wanna go out and eat and maybe just have a binge session or something, like, because every time you have one of those, right? Every time you have one of those, like you kind of lose track of time, you lose track of what you want to do, and you kind of just end up wasting another day, like. I feel like you can relate to this, anyone else, right? Because whenever you just sit in your home by yourself all day, like you can do anything. You have a lot of freedom. It's a lot of responsibility, right? So you have a lot of responsibility. You have a lot of like, if you don't plan your day, then anything can happen. Like you can wake up having the best like morning routine of your life, and maybe you get a lot done that day, or you can just wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Maybe you don't take a walk, you don't eat breakfast, you don't brush your teeth, you don't do anything. Like you just let the day happen. And you're like, oh, I'll practice. Maybe I'll practice. I mean, you have to have a plan, right? And then to make it worse, when school started, like I feel like marching band was taking up such a significant portion of my time and effort.
That's that.
Like, it got to a point, man, senior year, marching band, it wasn't it. But I feel like that's more of a me problem. But yeah, that was a huge problem for me because it took a lot of the valuable time that I spent practicing and I had to put it towards something that I didn't even enjoy that much. Like I didn't enjoy marching band that much, so it was painful. But I had to. That's what life is. You have to make sacrifices, and if you're in band, then you have to do that. And if you're doing marching band, then maybe like you make something happen, right? Because thankfully, as a senior, we get off periods or something, right? I had seventh period off at the time, and every day, like you would come into the practice rooms. I was using that practice.
I can attest.
I was using those periods off to just practice as much as I could before another rehearsal, get that time in, right? That's a sacrifice, right? I could have just gone home and just played games or something, just showed up to rehearsal and not use my time efficiently, and that would have been more fun, that would have been easier to do, but you have to make sacrifices, and that was definitely one of them, right? I would go to bed and I would be starving. I would go to school, I would be starving, I'd show up to, yes. I would skip sleep a lot. Like, it was tough, man. Like, especially in September, it was tough. It really was. I don't want to go back to that, but that's what it required. And I'm so glad I did do that. So, but yeah, that was definitely another challenge. And when somebody has those challenges in life, that's what you have to do. You have to navigate through them regardless of what it takes. You have to have a plan for what you're going to do. Like, okay, maybe I'm going to bed and I'm like, okay, maybe you just eat like a quick meal, like a quick snack on the way to school. Like maybe school just finished, you brought like a homemade meal in like a can. It's kind of what I used to do a bit, but I didn't do it every day. So the days I didn't, it would hurt a lot. But yeah, you have to have a plan. So I think that's important.
I know this one's gonna be a good one for you, but what does the word burnout mean to you?
Burnout.
Did you ever experience it? I asked this one because he has a very particular perspective on that word.
Okay. Need a swig of water for this one.
Yeah, I'll take one as well. Before we get into this one.
All right. Hear me out. Say it with me, okay? Burnout does not exist, okay? But don't take that extremely literally to literally deprive yourself of human resources, like treat yourself like a slave, okay? Don't do that, okay? But when I say burnout does not exist, okay, that means don't use it as an excuse to do less, to settle for less when you can always settle for more, okay? Burnout is simply just, okay, I've done so much, but I've done so much and I'm so tired and I just want to stop it right now, just end it, man. Like, I've done so much already, right? Okay, that's hard, right? Take a break for maybe like that day, right? But then you can always just wake up tomorrow and just
make that choice.
Yeah, make a choice. Like the night before, prepare for that next day. Like eat a good dinner, get good sleep. Like turn off the screen an hour before bed if you can. Like set yourself up the best you can to continue working toward that goal. Especially if you're still in the midst of the storm. Like if you're still preparing for like an audition and you haven't auditioned yet, you're still in the middle of it, and you're saying you're burnt out. I'm sorry to tell you, bro, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I'm sorry. You have to just wake up. You have to know what you're doing. You have to continue pushing until you're done. Until you're actually done. Yeah. I still wouldn't even say you can say that you're burnt out. Maybe, like, don't say you're burnt out and just do absolutely nothing for like a month and just maybe, I'm back in session, and then you're trying to pick up the horn again and you're playing and you kind of don't sound good because you didn't play. You didn't take your life seriously, right? So
it has consequences.
Yeah, like you have to think of what's next, even if you're trying to be like you're trying to have fun. Like that did sound a bit mean. But,
we'll turn it into one of those red pill podcasts where they yell at you in the camera for a minute.
But like, yeah, when I use the word burnout, like, the point is just use it with caution, right? Because like I do sometimes use the word burnout when it's like genuine and like maybe when I'm physically deteriorating from that. But like I think that you can use the word burnout to describe when you've number one when you've done the goal and you're recovering, you're trying to do the next thing, like you're trying to think of what's next and you're trying to work toward that. When you're burnt out, you can still practice, you can still work out, you can still take jogs, you can still care for your family, you can still do stuff, man. Just maybe you're not in the eye of the storm where you're practicing 8 hours a day doing literal Charlie Parker bird strats, like bird 12-hour a day, like shredding your fingers off. Like you don't have to do that, right? But you can still work hard.
You shouldn't do nothing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Always do something. Regardless of if you're literally like unemployed or whatever, like do something. Yeah.
So what do you think is a misconception that people have about you? I know probably people have a lot of conceptions about you, especially as a lot of the eyes are on you as you're the first chair. So anything you want to debunk in front of everyone on the internet?
Yeah, I want to talk about that title part you just mentioned. I want to talk about that specifically though. Whenever, like for me last year, like whenever I saw, oh, that guy's number one. I think last year the number one jazz alto sax was Matthew Miner, if you know him. But anyway, like whenever, yeah, like that guy was me apparently. But yeah, whenever I see like a title like that, I'm like, oh my god, that guy, wow, he's not us. He's like a god. He's a deity. He's not us. He has a gift from God apparently. Definitely, right? But when you see that title, you can literally just look at your friend and slap a title on them. It's not anything different than we're the same people, but with different goals, with different visions, and with an extra thing they can assign themselves to, like another thing that they have. It's literally just it's an accessory. It's literally just like, oh, yeah, oh, that's a nice watch. Nice. That guy has a watch. Like, that's cool.
Just a title.
It's literally just another thing they have. Like, it's not that they're better than you. It's that they saw the goal they wanted to achieve, and they worked toward it, and they never stopped working toward it. They were the hungriest person in the state of Texas. Texas is huge. Like, they were the hungriest person for that title, for that recognition, for that honor, for that resume booster. I don't know, anything. They were the hungriest person for that category, and they deserved it apparently for the judge rankings, right? They were the hungriest person. And I'm just gonna talk through this. They were the hungriest person for that, and whenever they did that, right? When they achieved that title, they're not just like, oh, I'm the best guy and I don't need to work anymore. No, they just keep doing it. They know what to do next, right? Like they keep working even if they have that title, right? They don't just stop, right? They keep doing what they're doing, and they like to work. They don't just stop working. They love doing it, and I know I love doing the work. Like whenever I see what I can accomplish, I don't just stop doing anything. Yeah.
So is that the misconception people have about you? That you're like above them, or you're some god or whatever, but you're just some guy?
Yeah, I think people see that wrong, especially like my high school peers, because I think like in my school, because like I don't think that I'm like I don't think I'm just some other guy who's just like I'm here and you're all the way down there. I'm up in my high throne just laughing at you. Like I don't think that's true. Anyone can do it if you just try hard enough, and I really do think that's true. I don't think it sounds corny, but like, once again, like, but I do think that sorry. I do think that the title itself is a really deceiving thing that people stick in their heads, and they're like, yeah, that guy's there, and I can't take that from him. I can't do anything about that. But the reality is, it's up for anybody to take who has that qualification, like they play saxophone, jazz. Anyone who has that specific role, anyone, any individual who has that can take the role for themselves. Like there's thousands of people like me. There's thousands of me, literally thousands in the state of Texas. But apparently, I was ranked number 1 out of them. So like stuff like that, like. I don't say something like that to brag, but like that's just what happened apparently, and I'm gonna say that I'm that's my title. So, but yeah, like students say that, and like that guy was number 1. Don't let that get in your head, and don't let that be your number 1 goal in life, to just have that thing and that's it. Like, just do the best you can. Like honestly, like apparently, okay, this is gonna be like the theme of the thing. Like, it's gonna be corny. Do your best, forget the rest.
I'll make that the title of the video. Cause he said it like 8 times now.
Okay, I mean, it works, man.
Is there anything that you believed before you made Allstate that you don't believe anymore?
Sorry, what?
Is there a specific like belief that you had before you made it that changed after you made it?
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, I definitely say that. Like, whenever you put in the work, and then whenever you see, whenever I was done with that area audition, October 1st, after sometime in May 2025, is a long period of time. After I did that audition and I got my result a month later from that day, and I saw that title, I was like, what? Like, I'm that guy now. I'm that guy who I was
You're the guy in the chair now.
I know. I'm literally that guy in the chair. That's so cool. I'm like, do you remember, and for any high schoolers out there, maybe you're freshmen, maybe your senior class is really cracked, and maybe they're full of all-staters. They have lots of good players and all the whole shebang, right? And they're like, you're like, I want to be like him one day, I just want to be him. I want to be him. Like he definitely has so much stuff going on. He has all this stuff. Like what is it like? And honestly, now that I can say I'm literally one of them, that I was one of them, like when I was in high school, after I got that title, I'm like, cool. It's cool to be that guy. But like, after you have that title, it's like, okay, what else do you have?
It's like that thing from Soul where he gets the game and then he doesn't feel anything afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I have that thing now. Like, okay, yeah, I love it up. But now you're just at that next level. Now what? You're not just constantly.
You're there now.
Yeah, you're just
you don't constantly revel in the success. It's just you're there now.
Yeah. Literally. But yeah, whenever people long for a title, they think, oh yeah, I need to be him, and I need to work so hard and to do that. Yeah, that's true, but whenever you're longing for that title, you shouldn't try to just get that title. You need to just do the best you can, and that's it. Whatever your audition is, you can just walk out the room thinking, oh, that's the best I could have done, and that's it. Yeah.
So before the library kicks us out, we are a little short on time. I have one more question. If you could leave everyone listening with one message, what would it be?
It's between burnout is a mindset, or what was it? Do your best, forget the rest. I feel like it has to tie more into burnout as a mindset, honestly, because if you think of it, like I said, burnout. People use burnout, the term burnout in its definition to justify being lazy, just not doing your best. And when you think of it, do your best, forget the rest. It literally just means put in the best work you can, and walk away from that result knowing that you did the best audition you did.
Being detached from the result.
Yeah. Just know that you did the best you can, and that whatever happens, happens. That's it. Right? So whenever you use burnout, and whenever whenever you use the term burnout to justify, oh, I can't do something that day. Like, I'm just gonna take a day off. I'm gonna do it tomorrow because I'm tired. And oh, maybe I want to take the week off. I had an exam. I worked. That's cool. That's hard, man. That's called life. That's called life, man. I'm sorry, but because that's why that's so important to me, because that's what I revolve around. Burnout is a mindset. Just don't say that you can't do something because this term is so magical and it's so binding that you have to just fall into its place, that you can't escape, that you're subject to just not try anymore, and that's it, right? You have to be hungry, whether you're tired, whether you're energized, whether you've just contracted a deadly disease. I don't care. Do something. Maybe you do a 1 minute long tune on your mouthpiece. Do something. Like maybe not action, of course, but you get my point, right? You do something, right? But yeah, so that's my takeaway, man. Just burnout's a mindset. You gotta just do something.
Burnout's a mindset.
At all times. Whether you're on vacation, whether you're in the midst of the storm, just do something. That's my takeaway.
All right. Thank you for your time. Everyone, that was Chudi Oyogui, Allstate Saxophone, #1.
Appreciate you having me.
Thank you all for listening. That's a wrap.
From nothing, and you're really good.
So why saxophone? When did you know that was your thing?
I like this question because
Your attention, please. The library will be open for 30 more minutes, closing promptly at 9 p.m.
check out this section.
Library staff will be happy to help you find the information you may need. If you need a library card,
You're
please
still going.
check the staff at the front. The computers will be
I'll
available
re-ask the
for 15
question.
more minutes.